Hello, everybody. Another Abbott Methodist Church Moments. This time it's coming to you from Stephen Jr. I'm the Director of Visual Operations at Abbott Methodist Church. And I'm the one that's in charge of running the live streams and the YouTube channel and things like that. So normally I'm behind the camera, and I decided since we were going to do some moments that I would tell my side of the story for Abbott Methodist Church. I will be the first to admit I haven't been a full-time member like Dad. I've been on and off member mostly. However, when I was at the church, it was usually at my dad's request, Pastor Stephen Gersh. And 90% of the time I spent my time behind the iPad in the early days. When we were recording the church services, I was the one that was making sure everybody was in camera and we were flowing nice and steady and generally trying to have a good time with it. Now, recently, for those that are longtime viewers, you'll notice there has been a massive change on the way we do the live streams for the church services. And that has a lot to do with some convincing on my dad's part, some convincing on my own part. You know, a lot of the videos that you see now are work that I have done to help boost the church in the both live stream and just general format. Matter of fact, my most recent thing I worked on was the thank you video for Don Johnson. You know, originally Dad wanted me at the church to mostly just be there, and then when he started doing the recordings for the Facebook and eventually wound up putting them on YouTube, I realized that, you know, with all the things Dad was involved in doing for music and all that stuff, I felt it would help him greatly and it would benefit the church if, you know, I helped out. And so that's where it started. Is eventually I went from being a member that just sat in the pews to being a member that took skills that I knew I had and, you know, brought them to the live stream. And like I said, you know, we had gone from an iPad, now we're upgraded to a whole production. But, you know, if not for Dad, I don't think, honestly, I would be as involved. Dad has been the real big push to help, you know, to help out the church and everything. And for those of you that join us on the live streams and everything like that, I really hope that you enjoy the way it's turned into or what it has become, because I will admit I do put a lot of work and everything into it, but that's not the goal. The goal is to be there to support the church in the best way that I can. And it's also a way for me to help out my father, who has been quite the figure in my life, you know, for the last at least 32 years as of today. So any way that I can help out my dad is something that's a big point of pride for me. And so with that being said, this is your Director of Visual Operations, Stephen Jr., and this has been my part of the Abbott Methodist Church Moments. See you again.